mysterious death curse washes over the land, driven by a powerful artifact known as the Soulmonger. 4 would-be heroes have been sent to the jungles of Chult to destroy the cause of this terrible affliction. Vale, the half-elven paladin who's just now learning of his divinely granted powers. Ubo, the total monk from a distant land who's as quick with his wit as he is with his staff. Brilinya, Aasimar warlock sent on this quest by her temple, discovering herself in this strange new land. And gunslinger Cole, tiefling artificer and archaeologist who may just dig up more than she bargained for. This motley band of adventurers must work together to brave the poisonous plants, venomous monsters, thundering dinosaurs, and rotting undead of the jungle. Join the omnipotent dungeon master Jake for mini-terrain domain to see if our heroes can find the Soulmonger, uncover the deeper mysteries of Chult, and free the world from the death curse. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to Chult of Personality.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Chult of Personality, a 2-minute of Annihilation campaign happening every Sunday night right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. And this is episode 67. That's right, this is our 67th episode of this campaign that we've been playing for about a year and a half ish. This episode is entitled Wardrobe Malfunctions, which will make a little more sense when we get into the actual game here, or if you were watching with us last week. Before I forget, a huge thank you to our #1 first subscriber ever, What You Looking At, who just resubbed for 27 months. So that gives you a sense of how long we've been able to take subscriptions, because What You're Looking At was the first one to subscribe, and we really appreciate it. That also means you earn yourself another Domain Devil. You just saw one of these green devil faces pop up down there at the bottom of the screen. Those Domain Devils are a way that you, the viewer, can participate in our game. That's right, for a $5 tip, for a 500-bit cheer, for a subscription, a resubscription, raids, all of those will earn Domain Devils for the players that they can in turn use to re-roll a d20 roll. They can spend 2 of them to make me re-roll a d20 roll. They can spend 3 of them to use hit dice outside of a rest. They can spend 4 of them to turn a failed death saving throw into a successful one, but it will take 8 domain dice to turn a critical failed death save into a success. And for 5 domain dice, they can turn any hit into a super crit that is an automatic double max damage hit. And that's what those domain dice are used for, the Domain Devils, we call them in this game. And that information is constantly scrolling by at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to draw your attention to the lower right-hand corner down below Connor over there, Qualu. You can see the D&D Beyond logo. That is because D&D Beyond has granted us insider access. And we are very thankful for that. That means that you can mouse over the stream at any time and you can see the characters. You can click through into the character sheets, see, for instance, that following last week's events, Qualu is at a little under 50% of health. And I run all of my games, my D&D games, using the D&D Beyond tool set. I find it absolutely amazing tool. I love using it, and we're very thankful to D&D Beyond for helping us to be powered by D&D Beyond. Let's see. Over there under M, Brilinya in the left-hand corner, you'll see the Initiative Coffee Company logo. Initiative Coffee Company is a partner with mini terrain domain where you can, if you would like to get yourself some delicious coffee, you can type !coffee in the chat, or you can go down to the banner below the stream here on Twitch. And there's a link now in the chat by typing !coffee to where you can purchase your own method roast coffee, a absolutely delicious medium Brazilian and Peruvian roast coffee that for every 12-ounce bag you purchase, $3 of that's going to go to Jasper's Game Day. Now, what is Jasper's Game Day? Well, Jasper's Game Day is the other logo there in the corner. It is an incredible organization that was started here in my home state of Michigan by Fenway the Teen DM in the wake of losing two friends within just the span of a couple months to teen suicide. And this organization, Jasper's Game Day, named for her best gaming buddy, Jasper, is dedicated to raising awareness of and the prevention of suicide through tabletop gaming. Money that is raised to them is used for funding suicide hotlines, suicide crisis centers, and that kind of thing all around the country. You can type !Jasper at any time, and you can click that link. It'll take you to the direct donation page for Jasper's Game Day. But 1 week from today, right now it is April 26th, 2020. 1 week from today, we will actually already be 8 hours in to day one of Jasper's Game Week. From next Sunday through next Thursday, from noon to midnight Eastern every day, there will be 12 hours of D&D games happening. Starting at noon, there will be a 12 to 2, and then a 2 to 5, and then a 5 to 8, and then an 8 to midnight game with some intermissions in between where myself and other members of the Jasper's Game Week team will be talking to you and keeping you up to date on what our fundraising goals are. But you're going to want to tune in because we got some pretty awesome games happening that week. We've got games featuring Todd Stashwick, a Hollywood actor who also has Anna Prosser. Probably one of the things many people will know her from is the Acquisitions Incorporated games recently, the Dice Camera Action stream that Chris Perkins DM'd on Twitch and YouTube. And then Matthew Lillard, known from Hollywood movies such as Scream and Scooby-Doo Shaggy. But also he is a D&D player. He also co-owns, I believe, Beetle and Grimm. And they do some really cool stuff with very high-end curated editions of the new gaming sets that come out from D&D. Chris Perkins is running a game at 8 p.m. on Monday night from 8 to midnight with 5 people who all bid on those seats. Some very lucky individuals. We got games by Satine Phoenix, Sean Merwin, B. Dave Walters, Kaylee Bray of Damsel's Dice and Everything Nice. We've got Amy Zura from who is from the Adventurers League. We got Chris Lindsay from Wizards of the Coast. We got Greg Tito. The Dawnbringers will be closing out the week in our usual time slot, just a half hour earlier. And so all the Dawnbringers will be here. It is going to be amazing, all with the purpose of raising money for Jasper's Game Day. So you will want to be sure to tune in for that. To be sure that you don't miss out on that, if you haven't already, go ahead and click on the follow button up at the top and hit that little notification so you can be notified when we go live. So, the whole purpose to Jasper's Game Day, of course, is to raise money for the Jasper's Game Day charity to fund these suicide crisis centers and everything, the lifelines and all that stuff, because mental health is important. We think mental health is important here. And that's why we always take the time to let you know that no matter where you are and no matter where you come from, whether you believe it or not, you matter, and your presence on this earth makes a difference. But it can be a struggle, especially with the things the way they are in the world right now. But help is out there, and it is as simple as typing in the exclamation point followed by the word help, or you can look streaming along the bottom right now in a constant loop during the stream is the information for several resources that are available, and we highly encourage you to take advantage of those if you need somebody to talk to. They are a phone call or a text message away. In the United States, you can contact the National Suicide Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. If you are in the active duty military or a veteran of the armed forces, you can press the number 1 after that and get connected with a military or veteran specialized counselor. You can also, if you choose, if you'd rather do it with a text message, you can text 741-741. If you are among our friends in Canada, you can reach the crisis text line by texting the word connect for English or parlez for French to 686-868. Or you can call the Canada Suicide Prevention Services in French or English, toll free at 1-833-456-4566. If you are among our many friends from around the world, there is a website that is available with numerous resources there. You can click the link in the chat, or you can just go to opencounseling.com/suicide-hotlines, and you will be taken to a resource page with links to phone numbers and text numbers for many countries around the world. Help is just a phone call or a text message away. Please do not hesitate to use those resources. With that, I do believe I have touched on all of my announcements, our usual pregame announcements. So without further ado, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. In the most recent events of this band of adventurers, they've been digging deeper and deeper into the depths of the Tomb of the Nine Gods, moving through puzzle after trap after death trap, and eventually they reached a point where the only way down was through a literal hole in the floor, where they found themselves in a bizarre contraption known as the Gears of Hate. 3 massive stone cogs in an underground lake with stone and ironclad walls in a pentagon shape on each of these gears. They found their way to the control room and puzzled out how to go about maneuvering these gears, and were able to explore a little further, face off against a couple more deadly traps, found another, well, what looked like a giant golden mastodon, and with lots of depictions of a Omuan warrior riding the mastodon in battle against many, many, many demons. And they said, nope, and walked out of that room, leaving the giant golden mastodon to just continue to be there. Vale and Taliel had also discovered that there was, in the 3rd gear, there was 5 wardrobes, 5 wooden wardrobes that depicted various scenes upon them. There was also a hallway with a portcullis blocking the way, with 5 rubies in the shape of teardrops, or drops of blood, if you will, above the door. Opening one of these wardrobes, a single monodrone popped out and attempted to escape, but could not cross the threshold and fell to its death into the lake between the gear and the other hallway. But that illuminated one of the crystals. They then opened up another wardrobe depicting many orcs in battle. And they wound up facing off against about a half a dozen or so orc warriors and their war chief. When they were defeated, they all vanished in a puff of smoke, and the second ruby teardrop or blood drop illuminated above the door. And there they stand now in this last gear, with 3 remaining wardrobes and a fairly clear course of action laid out before them. How would you like to proceed? Would it help if I reminded you what the remaining wardrobes were?
Yes, all I can remember is one is a hag, and that's it.
Let's see. You are so I'm going to just give you this as a reminder. You guys are in that third gear to the east, the far east one, and you can see the wardrobes in there. And you are working to get back up to the north there. So just a quick visual reminder of where you are. I gotta scroll through D&D Beyond to this room here. Weird, it went backwards for some reason. Oh, whoa. Okay, here we go. So the wardrobes that remain are one that depicts a grinning night hag with a swaddled human infant in her arms. The other one that remains is the door depicts twisted, screaming humanoid faces wrapped in chains. And then the third one that remains depicts ghouls gnawing on bones. The other two, the one with the face of an ornate clock and the one depicting the army of orcs clashing with an army of hobgoblins, are the two that have already been opened. So you got a hag, you've got ghouls, and you've got screaming humanoid faces wrapped in chains. How would you like to proceed?
Let's just go home. I mean, we had a good run.
I'm almost feeling you there, but we're so close.
Well, okay, so first was whatever that strange contraption, yeah, something like that. So that was the first one. Next one was the orcs. Don't know. What do you think should be the next one?
I mean, we're going to have to face them all eventually, so does it really matter?
Yeah.
How are we all feeling?
Do we need to be healed up?
Are we up for a hag or ghouls?
Qualu's ready to slay any foe that dares cross our path.
Before we do, though, I'm just going to clasp Qualu on the shoulder and lay on hands him for 40.
Ooh. Thank you, boy.
Yep. There we go. Now I think we're ready to go. I'll point at the hag. Shall we do that one next then?
All right, let me get into position. And she's going to go across the room from it and have her longbow with arrows ready and aimed towards it.
And I'll go same as before. I'll stand where I can just open the door, kind of like, and just kind of be behind it. Excuse me. Brill, Qualu, is you ready?
Aye, we're ready.
Ready.
All right. And I'm going to open it.
You open the door, and a blast of heat and ash spews out into the room. A strong smell of molten rock and sulfur. And you see that you are staring down into the caldera of an active volcano. Shards of black rock are floating above molten magma. And perched atop one of the shards are two man-sized creatures with insectoid features and 4 arms. They turn their heads to look towards you, and then they vanish in a puff of smoke and appear in the room. And I would like you to roll for initiative. All right. All right. I'm getting better at using the D&D Beyond Combat Tracker. Let's see. We got 22, 16, 8, and 10. And then I'm going to roll for... Lovely. Which is okay. I rolled a 1 on their initiative. All right. Let's see. Vale, you are going to be first. As you are suddenly see these two creatures in the room, which I put into our Facebook chat a picture of what these creatures look like to give you a visual. But they're humanoid. They're roughly the same size as you. They are have 4 arms. They are wielding, each wielding a trident. What would you like to do, Vale?
All right, so I am going to... I'm going to attack the first one. Oh my god. Rolled an 18 and a 20.
Wow.
Yeah, right? But anyway, so to hit, that is going to be a 28 to hit. And I'm assuming that hits. Does that hit?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes, it does.
Oh, good. And no, it'll just be a regular hit.
Yeah, make sure you are
Yep.
specifying damage types for me.
Yep, no problem. So it's going to be 11 points of magical piercing and 4 points of radiant damage.
What was that? 11 and 4.
Correct.
All right.
Okay, and then I'll do my second attack. Not only did I definitely not hit it, but I also rolled a nat 1. So there you go.
Which means it is going to get an opportunity attack against you. It will make a single trident strike against you. That is going to be a 25 to hit.
That just hits.
And I rolled a 1 on the damage die. So you'll take 5 points of piercing damage as it takes a hasty stab at you with its trident.
And that's it. That's all I can do.
All right. All right. Okay, I've got everybody's hit points in there, right? Okay. So next is Qualu.
Qualu will join the fight with a Vale, brandishing his lovely staff of striking to try and battle back these creatures as well with his 4 attacks.
All right.
Okay, it's going to be 23 to hit, 23 to hit. Natural 20 and a 21.
Nice. Crit.
Yep, so that's 3 hits and a crit.
And are you attacking the one that Vale already attacked?
Yes.
Excellent. 3 hits and a crit?
Yep. And this is magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
That's going to be 23 for the first one, 21 for the second one, 44 total. And then the crit happens, which is, goodness gracious, got to do some math. I should just like have a little number.
The 44 was all of the hits?
It was 2 of the hits.
2 of the hits.
Yeah, and then the crit was next. Goodness, okay, math time. So I rolled a 5. I have a plus 8 from that, then plus another d8. Half orc, I get to reroll that for being a thingy. Okay, 14 and 5 is 19, and 18 is 37 damage for my critical hit.
Wow.
And then lastly, 22 damage for my 4th hit.
What does it look like when you kill the first of these 2 Mesoloths?
Crack, crack, crunch. I'm just battering, and you know how I think that like with the battering, the chitin that makes up this demon-like creature gets like snapped apart, almost like cleanly severed wherever the joints in the chitin are, kind of just separating torso from abdomen with these clean strikes. Its arms are all like dismembered. And it's probably still alive. It's like its head and like one arm is dismembered entirely, and it's like trying to crawl, to freedom. And there's like staff is striking right through the skull of this thing as it's probably chitters for mercy.
And it does seem to be chittering away. Do any of you speak Infernal? Then nobody knows what it's saying. Is that the end of your turn? Taliel, you are up next.
How many did you say there were that came
There were
through?
2 total.
2 total.
One is now dismembered.
Okay. So Taliel is going to let loose those 3 arrows upon the one that is still around. Okay, we have a 25, a 15 and a 29.
The 15 misses.
Okay, so 2 arrows. Oh, as a bonus action. Oh no, never mind. There's only one creature. So the 2 hits. These are magical piercing. That will be 12 and 7, so a total of 19 from the 2 arrows.
19. Whoops, that one's already dead. Let's try the one that's still alive. There we go. All right.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn as I proceed to reload.
All right, then Brilinya, you are up.
So this one that's there, Brilinya, you see that she raises both of her arms, and you see that each of her arms are differently colored. The spells or the magic that is seemingly coursing through her arms are different. One is this fiery red. The other is this radiant light that you're used to seeing, and you see them both come from the ceiling. These 2 lights come and they twist around each other like some sort of tornado, one of fire and one of radiant light, and they both encircle down and right over top of this creature, but far enough so that it doesn't hit any of my friends. It's 10-foot radius.
That's gonna hit both Qualu and Vale, who were engaged with the Mesoloths.
Okay. Can I take that back? I don't think she would cast that then if she saw that it was going to hit them.
Yeah, they had both run up to attack.
Okay.
And the Mesoloths were right there, so they're pretty much within 5 feet of the other one.
Okay. Then I think instead, then, if you'll allow
it was still an awesome spell description, even though
yeah, I read it as I was saying it, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, that's radius, that's not diameter.
What were you casting?
Flame Strike.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I haven't cast that yet. I thought it was cool. All right, so then she's just gonna do some Eldritch Blasts. That is going to be a 30.
Yes.
Good. A dirty 20 and a 23.
All 3 of those are going to hit.
They also are going to push it back 15 feet.
All right.
Okay, so that is going to be 14, 15, and 8.
So that was all your damage?
Yeah.
14, 15, and 8.
Yep. It's 37.
37. All right. It's still up. You guys are making short work. We're still in the first round of combat. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
So this thing, you hear this oily, dripping voice tinged with shadow. And even in your mind, you can sense the hot magma of the volcano that you see through the open wardrobe as this creature speaks into your minds. I don't belong here. You don't belong here. Die. And in the midst of the four of you, especially since you pushed it back 15 feet, a miasmic cloud begins to form. It is a poisonous yellow-green fog. And on the start of your turn, each of you will make a Constitution saving throw. And that's all it's doing right now. So, Vale, it is your turn. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's not going to be a disadvantage, right? No, that's only for...
No, that's only for your physical attacks because of your arm.
Okay, that's a 24.
Also, anything that your perception, your visual acuity, all that stuff is makes it very hard to see because this entire area that you are caught in is heavily obscured. So you got a 24.
Yeah.
So you will only take half of 5d8 poison damage, unless you're immune.
I'm immune to disease and frightened.
14.
Not, although I am resistant to it.
So 16 will have to 8, and your resistance will cut that to 4.
All right.
So you take 4 poison damage. And this is a 20-foot radius of poison. So 5, 10. Oh. This entire room pretty much is full of this fog.
You're killing me.
Yep. Well, that's the point.
All right, so I will continue to attack the other one.
So you'll have to move through the fog. And you're already attacking at disadvantage, so you can't be any more disadvantaged.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness, because that'd just be awful. God damn it. All right, well, let's see. So, hang on a second here. Oh, there we are. So that'll be a 14.
So as you're moving through this greenish yellow haze and you head toward where you last saw this thing, you lunge forward with your rapier and you feel the blade bend as it blocks it with its blocks your rapier with its trident and twists the head of the trident, flexing the blade of your rapier as you do not hit it with that attack.
All right. Well, then I'm going to try and attack again.
Oh.
What?
I was just looking up the rules for heavily obscured. While in this fog, you are all basically subjected to the blinded condition, which doesn't change anything about what you're doing, Vale.
Oh,
It just means attacks against you are at advantage. Attacks, your attack rolls are all at disadvantage, and you fail automatically any sight-based ability checks. That applies to all 4 of you.
Well, I just rolled a double 19 at disadvantage.
Nice.
God, I love these dice. Yeah.
Maybe you should tell Kaeryn what kind of dice you got. Although I don't think you've had too much of a problem tonight.
They're just Chessex. Sorry, it's nothing special. They just, I don't know. Let me think. So I am going to use I'm going to eat up a first level spell slot because I'm gonna make it a good one. So,
Oh wait.
oh wait,
Oh, you didn't. You did not hit it the first time.
that's correct. This is my second attack.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. So 2, 4. Okay. Okay. So the little guy is going to be taking first 4, 7, so 11 points of magical piercing damage,
All right.
followed up with 12 points of radiant damage.
Okay. So that's 33.
No.
11
that
and
would be
you said 11 and
23.
12, right?
Yeah, that's
Or
23.
23. Which is 1 second. I always forget this. When doing a concentration check, it's half of the damage taken is the DC. Is that what it is?
I have no idea, to be honest.
10 or half damage, whichever is higher.
Okay, that's what I thought. So we'll call that a 12 DC 12 for con check for. That's going to be an 18, so it succeeds. The poison cloud will remain. All right, is that your turn, Vale?
That is, yeah.
Qualu, somewhere in this poisonous cloud is this creature, but I need you to make a con save.
Yeah, I got a 7 on the die, which makes it a something total. Probably very relevant, actually, what the total is. 15 total.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a success.
Perfect.
So you will take, let's see, 11, 12, 15, 16, 8 points then of poison damage. And then somewhere in this cloud is this Mezzoloth.
Qualu will kind of like he's coughing, covering his face and mouth like with the crook of his elbow. And I think that he's like using the tip of his staff of striking as like a, I don't want to say a walking cane or like a walking like a, but he's definitely using it kind of like feel out wherever this fiend is. And I guess just like trying to make a perception check or something to move around to find it, if he can, for his turn.
I mean, you knew where it was. You can, doing that, you'd be able to get over to where it was.
Right. Perfect.
And you're just attacking at disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. All right. That's going to be 4 attacks at disadvantage. It's going to be a 14 to hit.
Miss.
Then a 19 to hit.
Hit.
Oof. Low number to hit. And then a 14 to hit. So that's only one hit.
Yeah, only one.
Right. It's going to be a big ol' 24 damage of magical bludgeoning.
24?
24, yeah.
So another DC 12. That is, it just makes it that time. So it does keep the cloud kill up. And that's your turn? Taliel.
That's my turn.
All right, con save is a 15.
That's a success.
Perfect. So I take
22, 13 poison damage for you.
13 damage. Okay, and then I'm going to, using, I guess, the pinpointing the signs of the sounds of the combat going on to shoot the arrows at the creature, and hopefully I hit. So I'm at disadvantage.
You are at disadvantage.
All right, 3
And
arrows.
I especially want to know if you crit fail.
Yeah, we'll see that. Okay, so These are all very bad rolls. So one is an 18.
That'll
to
hit. That'll
Okay,
hit.
that'll hit. The next one is a 13. So
That'll
that's gonna
miss.
hit. And then this one is a crit fail.
Okay, so for the crit fail, I want you to roll me any dice. And we're just looking for an even or odd.
I'm gonna roll a d12.
Vale is even, Qualu is odd.
I rolled an 11.
Qualu is going to get hit by that crit fail. So roll the damage on each of those.
All right, so for the crit failed, that'll be 10 points of piercing, magical piercing for my longbow.
For the crit fail?
Yeah.
So Qualu, you get struck in the shoulder from behind by one of Taliel's arrows. As you see another arrow go flying just past you through this smoke. You see the fog sort of... and then the hit.
And the hit is 14 points of piercing, magical piercing.
And then you hear Qualu and Vale, you hear the other arrow strike something. And then all around you, the fog begins to rapidly dissipate. And as it does so, you see the two dead Mezzoloths suddenly turn into this reddish black smoke, and then in through the wardrobe, and the wardrobe door slams shut, and one more of the ruby blood drop shaped gemstones above the portcullis illuminates, and now only two more remain. That would be the one with the one with the screaming humanoids, and the one with the ghouls gnawing on bones.
Maybe we should do the ghouls next.
That's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just not a big fan of the undead. But all right. Same thing as before. Places everyone. I'll go stand over by the door, ready to open it up.
I've got my bow ready from across the room.
Okay. And Vale, you open the door. As you open this wardrobe's door, you hear... It sounds like a rusty iron gate. And you find yourself gazing out across an ancient cemetery. Its canted tombstones shrouded in fog. Eerie, hungry shapes move among the graves in the distance. You can hear the sounds of a distant cawing of a crow. You can hear as these shapes are moving through the... in a shuffling... But nothing seems to be coming out of this area.
It doesn't seem to be working. Taliel will look up to the mantle piece that's got all the teardrops. And there's still two illuminated?
Yep. Taliel, what's your armor class?
Currently, it is 16.
All right, so 22 hits you. Brilinya does a 13 hit you.
It does not.
Vale, I think a 10 is going to miss you. And Qualu, yeah, a 6 is definitely going to miss you. So Taliel, you're the only one. As you go over and look, the rest of you see as suddenly, Taliel, you feel an electrical jolt, and you take 12 points of lightning damage as electricity courses through your body, and you all watch as a glowing orb appears behind Taliel. And then right next to all of you, you see an orb appear next to each of you. And I need you all to roll for initiative versus these glowing orbs. Oh, that's crazy. Oh no. Vale gets a 5. Qualu, what do you got? The 12? 12?
Yeah.
Brilinya, what do you got? 17?
17.
And then
Mhm.
Taliel.
I'm the 5, not Vale.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
hang on
sorry.
a second.
Sorry. I
I got
read
a 19. What the hell?
Yep, I read that wrong.
You are
5.
a thief of joy.
I rolled a 20. So all 4 of these creatures are going to go first. So they're already standing next to you. They are casting an eerie glow around the room. And okay. Yeah, I think it's going to attempt to they're all going to attempt to attack you each again. Let me check something real quick. Yeah. So Vale, you are attacked for 17.
Does not hit.
And Brilinya, that is a 8. Taliel, that's an 8. Qualu, that's a 19.
That'll also hit me.
So Qualu, you will take 9 points of lightning damage as this thing just sort of literally just it looks like a glowing light that just touches you and immediately electrifies you. Okay. So that is all that they are going to do is shock you. Which means boom, boom, boom. Vale, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to attack the first critter. And I really doubt that a 13 is going to hit, so...
It does not.
Yeah, not surprising there. How about a 14?
That also does not hit.
Yeah, so that's my turn.
All right. Let's see. Brilinya, it is going to be your turn. You are engaged with one of these things.
So instead of attacking the one that is in front of her, she's not going to move, but she is going to attack the one that is going after Taliel with some Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blasts. and I pre-rolled, so that's a 27, a 28, and another 28 to hit
Yeah, those are definitely gonna hit.
for 39 points.
What does it look like as you pump these Eldritch Blasts in and you destroy this ball of light?
I imagine that, Taliel, you almost see like these other orbs that begin to kind of almost go around this one light, and they coalesce together at this thing, making it almost look much larger than it is, but just as quickly the light is snuffed out, and instead of the one light there remains nothing, only darkness.
All right. Well, that eliminates this one. Okay. Qualu.
Qualu kind of bares his teeth a bit at the pain being afflicted him by the scorching lightning that happened to him, and he will dare approach it with his staff of striking in hand, ready to strike it.
All right.
Okay, 23, 11, nat 1, and an 11.
So the 23 will hit, and you will also get hit from an opportunity attack from your crit fail.
Perfect. I do 21 damage with my one hit.
Let's see. So that'd be 21.
Mhm.
And then does a 14 hit you?
Yep.
You take 13 points of lightning damage.
Yeah, just Qualu's. I think that his footing in here is probably a bit I think what happened is he's recently gotten hooves from his staff of striking goat transformation. He hasn't quite gotten used to the balance, and I think there's like a bit of the floor here that isn't quite right for him, and he loses his balance and almost just topples into the ground for this natural one.
All right. Taliel.
Okay, quick question. Are these balls of light that are around each of us, like how big are they? Are they small or are they a fair size?
They're roughly the size of, they appear to be roughly the size of a humanoid fist.
Okay, that's not so big. I think Taliel, this is going to drop the bow and pull out the long sword as she, let's say, moves towards Brilinya to help with the one that's in front of Brilinya. So we will attack that one.
All right.
Okay, so we have a crit, a 28, and a 23.
All of those are going to hit.
Okay.
Is the longsword magical?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's this one. Okay.
So, those are D8s. So
As
the crit.
As
Sorry?
Brilinya sees Taliel come throw her bow down, come charging at her and just slashing a longsword inches away from her at this ball of light.
So for crits, it's max damage. That includes the modifiers, and then roll?
Max damage, including modifiers and dice, and then you re-roll all dice.
Okay, so the crit hit is going to be 27 points of magical
Wow.
slashing. And then the other two are an 11 and 10.
With your third slash, the light just dissipates, and another will-o-wisp is gone.
I think at this point, I'm going to use a bonus action to do my second wind,
Okay.
and that'll be my turn.
All right. Second wind and heal up a bit. It is now the two remaining will-o-wisps' turn. It's the one engaged with Qualu and the one engaged with Vale. And they are going to continue their shock therapy. Vale, I think a 10 misses you. Qualu, a critical will of course hit you. So you are going to take an automatic 16 plus 24 points of shock damage, as it just lunges right at your chest as if it's attempting to shock your heart. So you take 24. Did you get the damage from the last one? Did you record that?
Let's see.
Because I show you at 37.
And I did not. So it was 11 more? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. And then the one by you, Vale, it seems to, you see it sort of pulsing. It gets a little bit brighter, and then it grows really dim, and it seems to be trying to move towards you. And you can even feel this, like the hairs on your back of your neck and arm rising from the its attempts, but it fails to strike you. Vale, it's your turn.
All right, well, I'm gonna stab at it. Oh, 14 misses. We've already gathered that one.
Mm-hmm.
And does a 19 hit? 19
just hits.
Christ. Well, I am going to use. This time I ain't dicking around. I think I'm going to use another Divine Smite. This time, I'm going to use a second level. So first, that'll be 9 points of magical piercing. And let's see. Woohoo. Oh, that's a 3. And 21 points of radiant damage.
All right. You see its light grow noticeably dimmer as your radiant damage dissipates, striking it fully, but it is still a mote of light floating in the room. Brilinya. The only two remaining are the one that Vale is fighting and the one that Quatlu is fighting.
So, Brilinya is going to split these attacks these Eldritch Blasts between the one in front of Vale and the one in front of Qualu. because the one, I assume, will not hit at a 14.
A 14 will miss.
Yeah, and then I got a 16 and a dirty 20.
16 will also miss.
Okay, so then the dirty 20 will hit for 13 points.
Which
and
one
that will
is-
be the one against Kualu.
All right, so you strike that one, and you see the its light gets noticeably dimmer, almost as if it is little more than a firefly floating in front of Kualu's face. And then obstinately that light seems to grow brighter and brighter. Not enough to blind you, but enough that it seems to be letting you know it's still a threat. Anything else, Brilinya? Then Kualu, it's your turn.
Kualu is upset that this thing hurt him so much with that critical hit. He's going to go smashy against this thing, for lack of a better word. Yeah, that's 4 attacks. Let's try and roll better than 2 3s, a 1, and a 11.
I just love the visual of this goat-legged half-orc with a staff swatting at a firefly, basically.
All right, so that's a 13 to hit. Because I rolled
Miss.
13 hits?
No, miss.
Oh, miss. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, there you go. That's an 18.
18 misses. Whew.
Are you serious? All right, then 4 misses then. As I roll a 10 and then a 15.
So you're just...
Yeah.
And you cannot seem to strike it.
Kualu, it's almost a moment that he's trying to like catch a fly with chopsticks kind of thing. And he's like swatting. He realizes, no, he must be still to try and strike at this thing at the proper time. He's going to take a bonus action to take a second wind as he watches this thing move around him. Because that's crazy. All right. So, yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Taliel. One on Vale, one on Kualu.
I think seeing Kualu having trouble with these tiny creatures, I think she's going to come to his aid and try to attack the creature with her longsword. Okay, those are, we'll see. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
A 19.
That's the one on Kualu?
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to make you roll damage. It
Okay.
had 2 hit points remaining. So Kualu just finishes swatting at this thing, and you just sort of step over there and reach out with your longsword and just kind of
Grab it.
And the light disappears.
Could I then move to
yes.
the one on Vale?
Yep.
Okay.
You can then move towards Vale with your other remaining attacks.
Okay, so then that would be a 19.
That's a hit.
Okay, and a 22.
Yep.
So 2 more hits. Oh, those are not as good. So a 12 magical and 10 magical slashing. So 22 in total.
Taliel, you rush over there by Vale with your remaining attacks, swinging your sword through in a couple of quick arcs and rapidly dispersing this last remaining will-o-wisp. As the light goes out, you all hear that creaking iron gate sound, and as the wardrobe door slams shut, and a 4th blood drop crystal above the portcullis illuminates. Only one wardrobe remains. The one depicting the twisted, screaming humanoid faces wrapped in chains.
What if we just lit this thing on fire?
Well, then we may never raise the portcullis.
Yeah, I know. just seems like a really solid idea. All right. Who needs help? Anyone need to be healed up?
Qualu, maybe. He looks pretty bloody. Taliel's going to go across to the room again and pick up her longbow. She's good. While Vale looks around.
Right, Qualu. Let's get you healed up. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
All right, lay it on me.
Oh, thou shalt be laid upon. Wait. No. Oh, dang. Hey, you know what? That was actually quite good. So that's... yeah, you got healed for 24 points.
Yay, thank you.
And add an extra 13 to that, as Brilinya also heals you with her healing hands.
So it's 24 and 13. Perfect. Cole was feeling a bit more better, I guess you could say. You're helping him kind of like catch his wind, ease his muscles from being sore, and the singe and shock that's happened to his chest by that will-o-wisp firefly thing kickstarting his trachea.
All right. Sorry, I got what's having a problem here. You got one remaining wardrobe.
All right. I'll just shrug a shoulder and walk over to the last one. We good?
Yeah, Taliel looks at you. She's got her bow knocked again. Longsword's back in her sheath. Ready to go.
Ready.
Right, well, once more into the breach. I'll open the door.
Waves of heat assail you as the door opens, revealing an iron road leading to a basalt citadel surrounded by the charred remains of defeated armies. Prisoners scream from iron gibbets that festoon the citadel walls. Suddenly, a single glowing ember flies out of the wardrobe into the room, and as it does so, it begins growing and transforming into a winged, bony fiend with a smiling, skull-like visage. And there is a nice, pretty picture for you of the Bone Devil that has just entered the room with you. So, one more time, let's roll for initiative. Alright, so I got mine. Taliel is at 17. 14 for Vale. 5 for Brilinya. And Qualu has a 9. Taliel, what's your dexterity bonus?
+4.
Okay. Whoops. Taliel, you are going to go first.
All right. Taliel is going to loose those 3 arrows upon this creature as it comes into the room.
Good Lord. I thought I heard gunshots. Somebody in my neighborhood is firing off fireworks.
Okay, so the first hit, I hope, is a 29. 29 to hit.
That, 1 second. Whoops, dang it. Sorry, you said a 20 something?
29.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay, then a 25
Hit.
and a dirty 20.
Hit.
Okay, so the first one, I'm also going to make it a grasping arrow. So, okay, so it takes 8 points of magical piercing, and then another 8 points of poison damage. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet, and it will take 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn that it moves a foot or more. And this will last for a minute.
What was the amount of the damage?
8 magical piercing, and then another 8 poison.
Okay.
Okay, and it's covered in brambles, and it can use an action to remove them, or if it moves, it'll just take 2d6 slashing damage each time it tries to move.
All
and
right.
then the other 2 arrows are 12 points of magical piercing and 11 points of magical piercing.
So 23.
And I think what I'm going to do is use my action surge at this point to shoot 3 more arrows.
Oh. All right.
Okay, not so good. That's a 17.
That will miss.
Okay, a 19.
That will hit.
Okay, and then a crit fail.
All right. So give me your damage, and then I'll tell you what you get, how you get attacked.
Okay, that'll be 14 points of piercing on the hit.
All right. As you miss, as you reach in, wait, you're shooting.
Yeah.
From how far away?
Across the room. So, like, I would have been across the room for the wardrobe. So.
All right, then it's not going to be able to get an opportunity attack on you. Because you're not engaged with it. So, never that mind. Wait, never mind that. Never that mind. Never that mind. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn, yes.
It leaps and takes a flying movement across the room, positioning itself within 10 feet of you. Who would have been closest to Taliel?
I'll say Qualu was.
Okay. So it lands sort of in between the two of you. It slashes out at you, Qualu, with its 2 claws.
And it would take damage from
Yep.
moving.
Yep.
Okay. That's 3 points.
All right, 3 points. Is that magical damage then? Oh yeah, because it's a spell that.
It's from a spell. It's slashing. So.
All right. Okay, and then Qualu, that's going to be a dirty 20 and a 21 to hit you.
Perfect. Bring it on.
So you're going to take a total of 19 points of slashing damage as these 2 massive bony claws rake out at you.
Is it 19?
19 total. Taliel, you watch as this thing's long bony tail rises up and slashes down at you for a 23 to hit. The tip of its stinger penetrates your shoulder for 16 points of piercing damage. And you also take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 points of poison damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so that's a 12, which I think might fail. So I have the feat Indomitable, or not feat, but the ability Indomitable. I can reroll a saving throw that I fail.
Yeah, that is a fail. So you can re-roll that.
Okay, that is a 25.
So you succeed, and you are not poisoned. You just take the poison damage. Okay, that is the end of the Bone Devil's turn. Vale Istafall. It is your turn.
All right. I'm going at it. Gonna attack it. All right. Let's see. It's surely a 26 hits.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, hold on a second. Before I do attack, I will cast a spell.
Okay.
Using a bonus action. I'm going to be casting Branding Smite.
Okay.
And then make the attack. Sorry, did you want me to roll again? Because
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
want to
no,
be
no.
okay. All right. So that's 2 of these. All right. So first, we're going to hit for 10 points of magical piercing damage. Okay, and then...
Oops. I said whoops. I was applying
Oh.
the damage to you instead of the
do
Bone
that.
Devil.
And then it's going to be 13 points of radiant damage.
Seriously. Somebody across the street is launching those big mortar-style fireworks.
Stand two.
That's about what I feel like. With these headphones on, I don't get the high-end sounds of the explosions, so it literally sounds like combat stuff. Gunshots, and that sounded like a mortar going off.
Right. Fireworks.
It's April 26th.
Well, it wasn't Jesus' actual birthday technically supposed to be around this time, so I don't know, maybe they're...
Yeah,
Happy
where I
birthday,
live,
Jesus.
nobody's celebrating Jesus' birthday in this neighborhood.
Yeah, it's
Not in that way.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. The next one is probably not going to hit because that was a 12. So,
That will not hit.
Yepers. And then that's my turn.
All right, Qualu, you are up.
Yeah, Qualu is going to charge into the fray against this great monster. Before he smacks the thing, he's going to activate his fighting spirit as he kind of like yells or something as a bonus action. Or I guess bleats like a goat, which is really what he does. You're going to have a bad time as he brings up his staff and just batters this thing into what he hopes to be submission. Because I get advantage on my attack rolls this turn. Right, first hit is going to be 22 to hit. Second one, big number, 27. Next one, 25. Then a 26. So that's big numbers.
All 4 of those hit.
Yeah, that's going to be 4 hits for a total of Well, it's a reroll. 22. Then 24. Then 25.
Wait, these are your damage rolls?
Yep.
22,
24, 25.
24, 25.
Then another 25.
It's over 100 points of damage.
It should be slightly shy of 100 points of damage. Should be 97, I think. If my math is correct. 96, 90, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll take it by that sigh. I think
you
we're
are
okay.
breaking and chipping away at bones from this bone devil, shattering
standing?
ribs. Yeah, it's still standing.
He will use his action surge.
Didn't you just use an action surge?
Oh no, I use my fighting spirit as a bonus action.
No. Taliel used her action surge. That's what it was. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, all right. Gonna be 21 to hit.
Yep.
21 to hit.
Yep.
18 to hit.
Miss.
Ooh, then a 24 to hit.
Yep.
That's only 3 hits.
3 hits.
Oh, thank goodness. So that's max damage for 26 damage. And then another max damage, 26 damage. And then only 22 damage for the third hit.
Well, that third hit, you're pretty much just pounding the bones into dust as the bone devil shatters and collapses at your feet. You all defeated a CR9 bone devil with 210 hit points in just shy of one full round. I should say Qualu defeated. with the assist by Taliel and Vale.
Brilinya casts Elder Splash at the dead body anyway, just to feel important.
The bones turn into a pool of stinking ichor. And the last of the crystals above the door illuminates, and you hear as the adamantine portcullis rises into the ceiling. And that's where we are going to take our break at almost exactly 10 o'clock. Perfect place to take the break, as you guys know what's in this next room, so you know you've got to figure out how you're going to deal with that. So yeah, thank you to everybody who's tuned in so far. Please stick around. We are going to take a 10-minute break, so it's a good chance to refresh your beverages, use the restroom, get some snacks, whatever you got to do. We will see you on the other side of this break. And we're back. So the portcullis has been raised. You have destroyed the denizens of the wardrobes in this particular cog, known as the Cog of Blood. And the portcullis, you can see that there is about a 5-foot wide, 20-foot long hallway extending to the north and then opening to the west. Vale's the only one who's actually seen this hallway, but he's described it to everyone else. You know what lies beyond there, Vale. What would you all like to do?
Well, I'm going to remind him again. So once we go down this hallway, there's a left turn, and down this hallway, everything rots, everything gets destroyed. I have an idea, though. I'm going to see if maybe I can destroy the magic. If we can, well, maybe we can. I don't know.
It's worth a shot. Yeah. Take us to the edge of this magic and do your best then.
True. And I'll walk us down. Like I'll walk everyone kind of down the hallway, and just kind of like we'll just stay on this landing. This seems to be okay here, but once we go down these steps and actually enter the hallway, that's where the problem is. And then I'll point down at the end. If memory serves me correctly, there's like a bust of a bull holding an ivory ring or a cow skull or something like that.
Yeah, so there is a I'm going to zoom in on this area where you are. There is, at the end of this archway, to the west, there is an archway, and the keystone has the skull of a bull with an ivory ring in its nose or mouth. Yeah. So the stairs descend for almost 20 feet down into this lower area. So you have an area 10 foot wide and 25 feet long at the top of the stairs that you can stay safe in. So what do you want to do?
If you have to go in there, before you go, leave everything that would rot here.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I don't think I have to worry, because if I just walk a little bit down the steps before I actually touch the floor in the hallway, should be enough room for me to cast the spell from here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of just walk down the steps, not step on the hallway. Just walk to the one step below the hallway. You know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic. Luckily, it's got a range of 120 feet.
Perfect.
Yep.
Let me look this up. Okay. So you're going to cast Dispel Magic. It's definitely higher than a third. So go ahead and make me a spellcasting ability check.
Okay. So
So roll and add your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay. Ooh. So that'll be a 21.
You focus on the ivory ring in the bull's mouth. You can see it as you're straining toward it. It's about 70 feet away from where you're standing. And as you concentrate with this magic, you feel powerful necromancy resisting your efforts. And you push just a little bit harder, and you feel something give. And you watch as the ivory ring falls from the bull's mouth and disintegrates.
If only I had done that before.
Did it work?
Hang on. And I'm gonna take my pack off, place it on the stairs, and I'm gonna grab just a coin. I'm just gonna grab a silver piece coin. I'm gonna leave my armor on because that wasn't affected. My sword was fine. So then I'm just going to step onto the hallway and look at the silver coin.
The silver coin shines that much brighter than all of the tarnished and destroyed loose change lying around on the floor, and continues to do so.
All right. I'll look back. It's good, and I'll collect my things.
You have successfully dispelled the magic of the Hall of Decay. You can see there is some kind of purplish light emanating from the other side of that archway. And partway down, about 40 feet down through this hallway, there is a set of stairs leading further downward to the south.
Yeah, I think with the all clear, Brilinya would venture further in.
Taliel will follow cautiously, but follow nonetheless.
All of your stuff maintains its integrity.
Sweet.
So where to next?
Shall we
Stairs
check
leading
that-
down an archway with a glowing light.
Shall we check that archway before we head down? Or
I
do
think
we want to
that's-
just go down?
I think we should check the archway. It may as well.
We're here.
Mm-hmm. Plus, who knows what will be waiting for us? These levels, floors, could be a new horror. Who knows if we'll be able to get back up?
Too true. All right, let's look.
So as you head toward the archway, you see hot wind tinged with the smell of burning oil blows down a 40-foot diameter vertical shaft. Stone balconies protrude from the walls on opposite sides of this expanse, with the west balcony 15 feet higher than the east one, which is the one you're at. Two thick chains rattle in the gulf between the balconies, one ascending 200 feet before disappearing into a cloudy vortex lit by arcs of purple lightning. The other wrapping around an enormous metal gear floating 100 feet below. Another 100 feet below the gear, a second vortex rages. Who has proficiency in Arcana?
Not I.
None of you do? All of you can make an Arcana check at disadvantage.
I got a
Kalu
0.
got. Kalu got a 5.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're looking at, Qualu.
I got a 14.
All right. Vale and Brilinya?
I got a 9.
Wait, we've been using magic this whole time? Brilinya's got a 0. So...
Oh my gosh. What does this word
Magic.
Arcana mean? So, Taliel, you're not quite sure. Maybe from one of your previous companions, you remember them talking about something called planar vortices. each of these above and below is
Taliel will tell them the meager knowledge that she has about planar vortexes and how deadly they are. And yeah, that's kind of a... I don't know if it's worth the risk. I don't even know what's up there. Because you said the other platform is higher than us, right?
I don't think there's even a point. I say we turn around, keep going, I guess.
Go down, do what you guys came here to do.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
22.
19.
I got the lowest. I got a 14.
There we go. Apparently I was muted. I apologize. Thank you, DBG1. Thank you for that. I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. So anyway, you hear the sound and you see a figure on the other balcony, humanoid sized, familiar looking in its skeletal structure, as a fifth skeleton key is standing on the far balcony.
Oh, we gotta get that.
There
How
is
far?
a
Sorry.
gap of 15 feet from balcony to balcony, with an additional 15 feet of height on the other one.
I could shoot it with an arrow, and then I could grab it with mage hand if we can kill it.
I may be able to go over to that balcony.
Without getting caught in the vortex?
I think so.
The vortexes are 200 feet above and 200 feet below you.
Yeah.
Sorry, how far is the balcony?
15 feet across and 15 feet up.
Oh, okay. I'll just tell everyone I'll go, and I'll Misty step over.
Vale disappears in a misty flash and reappears next to the skeleton on the small 10 by 10 balcony. You hear far above you a ripping sound. And you see a rip form in the vortex above you. And 9 cube-shaped creatures with wings and short bows fly through. They're quickly followed by a large crystal decahedron that holds a weird starfish-shaped creature. They are rushing down quickly towards you. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and roll initiative. They are, as we've established, 200 feet above. So it's going to take them a little bit of time to fly down here. I'm not going to run this one with the thing because I didn't have this set up. So I need an actual pen. All right. Vale, Brill, Taliel, Qualu, Quadrones. Okay. We'll do that and that. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I rolled both dice for one for the initiative for the little guys and one for the bigger guy, and I got a nat 20 on both of them. Okay. Vale, what you got?
Okay.
Oh wait, I see the numbers in the chat.
Oh. Yeah, I got a 19.
And Qualu got a 5. All right, so the Modrones are going to go first, followed by Vale, followed by Brill and Taliel. You can decide amongst you how you want to do that. And then Qualu is going to go last. So they appear 200 feet above you. The Pentadrone comes sailing down using all of its movement to cover 80 feet of distance with the 9 quadrones behind it rapidly closing in. They cover 60 feet of distance. As they are flying down. Vale, it is your turn. You have one of these skeletons standing next to you.
Okay. Then I will attack said skeleton. Oh, damn it. I roll with disadvantage, but one of them was a nat 20. Or at least the other one was a 14, which means
that's going to hit.
Yep, that's a 24 to hit. All right. Not going to use any fanciness there. So we got, so it'll be 9 points of magical piercing and 7 points of radiant.
Just like all of the other skeletons, you instantly disintegrate it.
And I would say that I probably just like slip my rapier in between like the vertebra and its neck and just kind of pop the head off and just kind of grab it by the key affixed to its head. And while the thing's kind of like headlessly kind of popping around, I just kind of push it.
To do that, because you only have one arm, I am going to require a dexterity check. Because you're going to have to switch to grab its head. You only have one hand that you're holding your sword with.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, that's fair. That is fair.
There's no situation in which
you're right.
in which you're not making, even if you had two hands, you would be making a dex check to grab this head.
Nope, that's fair. Okay, well, that's an 18.
You are able to do it. It wasn't a high DC. It was just there is a very real possibility it could go over, it could go over the edge. But yes, you are able to get hold of it. You also notice that there is a crawlway on this balcony that leads to the west. To where you don't know.
Like the door is like it's like a crawl space.
Yeah, it's a crawl space like you've seen on the previous levels.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna pop inside. Said crawl space.
Okay.
Well, surely nothing could possibly go wrong there.
So for reference, to make it clear, you guys are in the space there. You can crawl through this space and you find yourself in a 15-foot by 20-foot room with a strange contraption in the middle. There is a bronze apparatus centered on a hinged arm. Slowly rotating within the arm is a 10-foot diameter globe decorated by a topographical map of landforms and oceans. Concentric rings of brass constrain the device, all rotating and bearing their own lesser spheres. One of these spheres has sharp points and appears sun-like. Carvings of tall, headless humanoids decorate the walls of the room. And because you all have early on in your arrival in Port Nyanzaru, your old companion, Brilinya's sister, Gunslinger Cole, had spent a lot of time doing research at the one Merchant Prince's place. And you'd all seen the maps of Faerun, of the Sword Coast. And looking at this globe, you realize you are looking at a globe of Toril, its moon, and the sun, and other planetary bodies in realm space. And that is going to be your turn, because that's been about 6 seconds. So we are going to cut back to the others. So Brilinya and Taliel. These creatures are now roughly 120 feet to 140 feet above you, moving rapidly towards you.
Like, are they coming to towards us, or are they going down? Like
They're coming down at you.
At you. Okay. Okay.
They where did he go? They all have well, the smaller ones, the quadrones, all have bows. And are, as they've come through, they've all sort of just been pulling them out, but they use their full speed to get this close. And they are definitely hostile.
Okay, that I'm going to pull out my bow and aim for the big one.
All right, so the big one is this sort of starfish looking creature, but it is encased in a crystal decahedron, but you can absolutely shoot at it.
Okay, well, we'll try. See what happens. Okay, so we have a 16.
Hit.
Okay, actually 2 16s, and then the last one is a 27.
Yep.
Okay.
All three of those are going to hit.
Beautiful. These are magical arrows, and we are doing 9, 10, and 8 points of damage. So total of 27 magical piercing.
So you watch as your arrows strike this crystal decahedron, each one causing spider webs to shatter across its surface. But the decahedron is holding firm. You have not succeeded in hitting the pentadrone, but you've done some significant damage to its mode of transport.
That is my turn. Yeah.
Brilinya.
You see the similar static electricity begin to start up through Brilinya. And same, very, very similar to when her and Kualu fought the shambling mounds. It begins outside of this, on the outskirts of this room, and then slowly coalesces down around Brilinya's feet and then up through her body and out through her hands as she casts this huge static ball around as many as she can of these things as she can get in a 20-foot radius sphere. And those who are in it have to make an intelligence saving throw.
I'm going to say...
Unless they have intelligence of 2 or lower.
They all have intelligence. I'm going to say you could get... It's 20-foot radius, you said?
Yes.
So that's a 40-foot diameter circle.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you can get all of them.
Excellent.
So that's going to be for the big guy.
Intelligence saving throw is DC 20.
So the big guy got a 16. Little guys are an 18, an 18, a 1, a 4, a 9, a 9. How many is that? 6? A 3, a 15, and a 16. They all fail. Every last one of them fails.
So they all take 30 points of psychic damage. And they all have to, for a minute, they have to roll a d6 and subtract the numbers from their attack roll and ability checks.
Not even going to matter. You tell me what it looks like as all 10 of these creatures are destroyed by your psychic damage as they're sailing down through this vortex.
I imagine it's probably a pretty gruesome sight as this ball is hurled towards these things, and I imagine that as soon as it hits them, their bodies go rigid in these different poses, and they begin to almost you see little explosions as they begin to heat and smoke pouring out of them as they're just trapped in these poses, almost like when your muscle contracts when you get electrocuted, and the smoke becomes so thick that all you can see, it begins to obscure everything, and then all you can see is little tiny parts begin to fall from this little smoke cloud.
And they continue to disintegrate because Modrons, when they die, ultimately disintegrate into dust. By the time they get to where you all are standing, all that sails past you is 9 mechanical-looking bows and some arrows as their weapons fall down to the vortex below. And you don't even register their disappearance. They're so small, they have no indication of entering the vortex. As you have just with one attack slew 10 Modrons. And there's no sign of Vale.
Bone Devil.
And there's no sign of Vale. So we are effectively out of initiative order.
Quick question. I probably won't. But you said that like their bows and arrows were falling.
Yes.
Would it be possible? I don't know, to try to grab some with my mage hand. Mage hand is an action though, so.
I mean, you can try, but at most you're going to be able to grab one of either.
Mm.
If you want to try it, just give me a dex check.
Okay.
With your spellcasting modifier.
I honestly don't know what my spellcasting modifier is. That comes from the ghost lantern.
Oh. We'll just call it a DC 15, which will make it, it's not a DC. That would be, and we'll call it a +5.
Because that'll be a 16.
What are you reaching for, a bow or an arrow?
Arrow.
You grab an arrow. It has a metal shaft, a metal head, and very thin copper wires that form the fletching.
Thank you.
All right, Vale. You're standing in this room with this armillary sphere. This sphere of Toril. What would you like to do? Actually, you know what? Something happens because as you come out of the crawl space, you're within 5 feet of it. So as you sort of are standing up, the apparatus swings around towards you, its rings rotating out of the way, and the surface of the globe peels back, opening up to reveal a dark, hollow interior. Inside this cavity, you can see a padded chair with levers built into the armrests. This large brass or bronze apparatus appears to be some sort of controlling device. So you can do anything with this, Vale?
Hang on. I'm thinking. Like, you know, it's you know.
While Vale's deciding what he wants to do.
Nope. It's okay. I guess I'll have a look around at the. He's gonna have a look around at the rest of the room. Is there any like sort of like is there a plaque or is there some sort of a set of instructions, or hey, enter this thing at your own risk or you're gonna die, or
go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. The heck is my investigation again? Right. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not terrible. It's a 15.
You are looking around the room and you're seeing all of these carvings on the walls of tall, headless humanoids. And as you're looking for some kind of instruction and you get along the south wall, you, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you activate a small panel, and a small hatch slides aside, revealing another crawlway to the south.
Ah. I will take that crawlway to the south.
Crawling through this hallway, it is about 35 feet as you crawl through here, and you find yourself, as I get there we go. Nope, that's not it. A room. You find yourself in an area that is full along the bottom of this sort of gray, like residue from this aboleth slime. And you discover that there is, at the end of the crawlway, there is a stone lever. You can just make out a little bit of light coming from above your head. There appears to be a room up above you.
Okay. Well, I'll pull the lever, Crunk.
All right. As you pull the lever, you hear and light begins to spill in from above, revealing a familiar looking room, as this lever has just caused the control panel lectern to slide out of the way, and you can stand up and find yourself looking into the control panel room that controls the gears.
Nice. Okay, awesome. I'll go back in the crawl space, head back, excuse me, head back around through the other crawl space through that room, and then back onto that large balcony. I'll wave, and I guess I'll misty step back over to the rest of the group. Let them know that that there's now an easy way from the control room back to the crawl space I just went through on the upper balcony. I will also tell them about that room.
All right, and he tells you about the bronze armillary sphere, which you would notice every time you moved away from it, Vale, it closed and repositioned itself. And then whenever you got close to it, as you came into the room through the crawl space, it would spin around and open up again, revealing the seat inside. Vale relays all this information to the rest of you. What would you like to do?
Is it worth going in there, or should we just...
I don't know. I don't know.
And also, who can go over there? I can. You can. Taliel
Actually,
or
we
Kualu?
all can. Really, we can just slip through, go back the way we came, slip through the gears, go back into the control room. There you go. So that's a possibility. I don't know what it could be. Then there's still the stairway back that way that we could just go down, carry on a merry way.
I came here before whatever is happening outside was happening. What were you told when you came in? Like, I know you're looking for something. You're trying to save the world, really. But do you know how?
we have to destroy the soulmonger, whatever the soulmonger is. It's, I don't know, it's something. It's terrible, and I imagine we have to fight a terrible creature as well. This Acer.
So you don't know exactly what the soulmonger is.
Well, no, we don't exactly know, but I'll be perfectly honest. If this soulmonger apparently is fueling this creature, this Acer, they wouldn't leave some powerful device just sitting there for anyone to go wandering, traipsing past.
Oh no. But maybe it is the soulmonger. But I don't know. My recommendation would be that we carry on. We find the soulmonger. If we get to the end and there's nothing, then we come back here.
I would agree to that.
I think that's a good idea.
Definitely. I think at some point, though, we should probably rest long before we head down to fight anything even worse than what we're fighting now.
Could certainly use a rest.
A good long rest will probably do us good.
The hallway, now that the rotting effects have been eliminated, that hallway seems to be a pretty safe space from what you've seen. So you absolutely can take a long rest.
Just have somebody staying guard on the stairs for the entire
Aye. Then a nice long rest, and then we head down.
So go ahead and give yourselves your long rest. The 8 hours passes pretty uneventfully. Is there anything you would like to do or discuss while you're in your long rest, or are you going to just take advantage of the ability to recover from your wounds? You're muted, Mike.
It's too bad. I had a hell of a zinger. Yeah, I'll just take the time to rest. I don't think I'll be saying much. Maybe just close my eyes for a bit. Sorry, that was method acting. Totally.
All right.
Before I go to sleep, I am going to feed poor Yak, who's been so blissfully silent this whole time. I'm going to feed him 4 carnelian gemstones. So that's 200 GP worth of
Okay.
gemstone.
So I think you've given him somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 GP worth of gold worth of 500 GP worth of gems. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right. At the end of this long rest, you awaken rested, a bit stiff and sore from the battles, and sleeping on cold concrete. But you are well rested. You have recovered your hit points. You have recovered your spell slots. You have a stairway leading down. It is a narrow stairway. It is only 5 feet wide. Who will lead the way?
I'll go first.
All right. As you descend into the room, it opens into a room that is 40 feet east to west, 45 feet long. You are having trouble seeing very far in this room, as there is a green smoke curling around in a haze, billowing out from a bronze cauldron, actually, that is sitting in the center of this room. This room has 20-foot high vaulted ceilings. Just visible barely through the haze are 3 rocking chairs, several workbenches heaped with haberdashery, a spinning wheel, and a rusty iron cage containing a prisoner. Galleries stand 10 feet above the floor to either side of the room, so sort of like wood-railed balconies on the east and west sides of the room. This green smoke is slightly obscuring your view. You can sort of make out on the far side of the room that there's a wall over there, but you will all have to come down the stairs and into the room a little bit more to get a better look. I'm assuming you do that. As you come into the center of the room, you can see along the galleries on the west and the east, there are 5 wooden doors set into the walls of the galleries, each carved with a geometric symbol: a triangle, a square, a pentagon, a hexagon, and an octagon. You see something moving. Something in the smoke. Small, very tiny actually, moving through the smoke towards you. 3 tiny figures waddle towards you through the haze. One of them is a straw doll with rusty pins sticking into its body. The other is a faceless child molded from clay. The third one is a stuffed monkey with the lower body of a unicycle. The straw doll looks up at you and says, "You need to run away. The Sown Sisters will be back any moment now." And I think that's where we're going to end this session, because you just descended to the 6th level of the Tomb of the 9 Gods. You are now level 14. And I know for quite a few characters, level 14 is a big deal. Some, not all, but some unlock new abilities. You guys do have the option to, as always, to either take the average or roll for your new hit point increase. So if you're going to roll, let's go ahead and do the hit dice, or rather the hit point increases live right now. See what you guys get.
All right, I'll
It
go
was a
first.
9.
Ooh,
Got
nice.
9 more hit points.
Nice. I rolled a 3. So I need to.
Why did it show that you only went to 150 Qualu instead of... Oh, you haven't added in your thing yet?
Yeah. It automatically adds your con mod, and then
Right.
you have to roll. Add your
I was looking
roll.
at it and I saw the number go up, but it only went up by 3. What'd you end up with, Vale?
I rolled the 3.
Okay. If you roll a 1, you can re-roll. I'm not going to let you sit on a 1.
Rolled an 8,
Nice.
which is plus 14 more.
Oh my gosh, because you have that huge con increase.
Yeah. Plus 6 con, I think. Is it
So-
plus 6 or plus 5?
Brilinya, that'll put you up to what, like 175 hit points?
Yeah, it's plus 6, so
Yeah.
it'll be.
So
How much do you have now, Brilinya? What?
175.
Oh, I'm 2 less than you now. Catching up. Catching up.
The little ASMR warlock has more hit points than the big half orc, half goat. Is anybody getting any cool new abilities at level 14?
I got an ability score increase, so I pumped that to 2 points into my con to help catch up to Brilinya.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yes, apparently, beginning at 14th level, I can use my action to end 1 spell on myself or on a willing creature that I touch.
Oh, nice.
So basically, what is that? So that's just like, hey, that curse, done. Oh, hey, you got magically poison, done. Right? And that
sounds right.
Okay, cool.
So, if Brilinya ever went to 0, instead of making death saving throws at the start of my turn, I can instead spring back to my feet with a burst of radiant energy. I regain hit points equal to half my hit point maximum. And then each creature of your choice that is within 30 feet of you take 2d8 radiant damage plus a charisma modifier and are blinded.
Wow.
So I can just like supernova back to life.
Is that like a once per rest feature or?
I believe, yes. Oh yeah, long rest. Yep.
Cool. That's still pretty powerful. You get knocked down and you come back at half of your max health.
I get
But I get
back
up
up again.
We're gonna call that
be blinded
Brilinya's.
as
That's
well.
gonna be Brilinya's tub thumper. What about Taliel?
For hit points, I rolled a 6.
And you just get the ability score increase at 14?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And of course, I will share this into our group chat. Which I can't find. Hold on. There we go. These are the 3 dolls that just showed up. And I'll have those for next week. Or not next week, because we won't be playing next week. That's actually a good point for those of you that are watching with us. We will be back in 2 weeks, because next week we'll be kicking off the Jasper's Game Week charity streaming event on Sunday at noon Eastern. But yeah, you guys are now level 14. You are in the 6th level of the Tomb of the Nine Gods, and you have discovered a room in which there are 5 doors that have symbols on them that match the 5 skeleton keys that you have. But of course, these creepy dolls just showed up. So we'll see how that plays out in 2 weeks as we continue with episode 68 of Chult of Personality, and that episode will be titled The Cradle of the Death God. Yeah, so thank you everybody who tuned in tonight, hung out with us. Hope you enjoyed the show and the game. I had fun tonight. We had a lot of combat, which is not always the case, but I guess you guys have been fighting a lot since you got into these lower levels. But yeah, we had like 5 combats, I think, 4 combats. But I'm sure that won't be an issue anymore going forward. So tomorrow night there will not be an All That Glitters stream. In fact, there will not be an All That Glitters anymore unless we're going to keep the name. We never discussed that, if we're going to keep calling it All That Glitters. But never fear, because Anna and Bevan and Ash and 6 Days into Summer will be returning in a few weeks as we continue after having completed Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We will be back on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and I believe we discussed that we are going to be doing this every other week going forward with that one for a while. We're going to see how that works out as we continue on. Mike as our DM. I play Six and M plays Anna. As we continue with Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And we're very much looking forward to that. And then Tuesday night, you can find me and everybody but Mike over on the Dice on Ice RPG channel, where M is continuing our horrific journey through Curse of Strahd as we deal with Barovia and Vallaki and Caldera, apparently. And other places. It's so crazy that Connor and I are actually playing alternate characters right now, because our characters are currently lost somewhere. And then Wednesday night, you can find myself and Kaeryn and M here again for session 3, episode 3 of our Highway of Blood 1970s Call of Cthulhu game, that is being game mastered by Alex, aka Captain Gothnog, one of the members of Critical Hit Publishing and the author of Highway of Blood, which is available on Drive-Thru RPG right now as a scenario for 1970s Call of Cthulhu. It's available as a PDF or as a print-on-demand book. Also, our friend DBJ and Ian Christensen from Fantastic Dimensions were involved with that project as well. Thursdays, we'll see the return of the Dawnbringers in Season 4, Heart of the Nightfang Spire, and it will be our 3rd episode of the new season. And then Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be doing last minute prep because Sunday at noon kicks off Jasper's Game Week. 5 days, 12 hours a day, 60 hours, 20 games, 120 game masters and players, and a boatload of incentive-based prizes that we will be giving away as we reach certain goals. We are giving away so much stuff. We've got just some incredible sponsors like Hero Forge and Wormwood Gaming. Nerdarchy has jumped on and we're going to be giving away several download codes for their out-of-the-box encounters from their recent Kickstarter. So it's going to be awesome. Speaking of Nerdarchy, I almost forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. At noon every day on the Nerdarchy YouTube channel, Dave, Nerdarchist Dave, does their lunchtime live chats, revivified, they're calling them, because they brought them back during the social distancing and quarantine time. And tomorrow at noon Eastern, I will be a guest with Dave on the live chat, talking about all things mini terrain domain and Jasper's Game Week. So hang out with us at lunchtime for an hour tomorrow. Again, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight. Huge thank you, of course, to our friend What You Looking At, who resubscribed for 27 months, earning the players a domain die. His note, by the way, to all of us was, howdy, hope everyone's healthy and still sane. And you too can get in on that action just by hitting that subscribe button. If you have an Amazon account, an Amazon Prime account, and you link it to your Twitch, you get a free subscription every month. So consider using that for Mini Terrain Domain. At the very least, it costs you nothing to hit that follow button. And hit the notifications so you know when we go live. Tons of streaming going on and new stuff always in the works. Thank you. Like I said, thank you to everybody for watching. And thank you, of course, as always, to Mike, Kaeryn, M, and Connor, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. With that, we are going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
A level up.